Hi, man.
Hey, Machine, been a while, man.
Yeah, hi Daniel. How you doing?
Pretty good. Good to see you here. Thanks for joining today.
You're welcome. It's a hot topic for us, as you can imagine. So,
Hello,
Hey, man. How's it going?
how are you doing, folks? All good? Sorry for being late. Just was grabbing some coffee now. Let me share the agenda first. Sharing that in the chat here in Zoom. I think that we need to add ourselves as participants. Today is the 26th. Let me do that. This is 26th. Kind of calendar 26. 6, yeah.
Hi, folks.
Hello. Oh, perfect. Let's give people a few minutes. And while we wait, I will just start adding items in the agenda. So if we have other items in the agenda that we want to discuss, please feel free to add things. Blog post, I think that's the first thing, the most urgent thing that we need to do. And I want to share this here. I don't know why it's not sharing. There you go, blog post. Those are the main two topics that I have. So blog post, and then kind of like what we need to do for KubeCon if we are doing something. I think that we are, so we should try to move that forward. If somebody can take the notes, if not, I can just do my best to summarize what our discussion is. Good. Let me share my screen. Just, focus. Okay. First of all, thank you for joining, because I know that this is the first meeting kind of like on Wednesdays. We will just try Wednesdays for the remaining of the year. We will see how that goes. We still need to create the calendar invites for the for the next Wednesdays. Like we will do, I think, at the first and the third Wednesday of every month. So every 2 weeks, and some months there will be like a week where we don't meet. Besides that, most of the things that we are doing here at the group are nowadays inside documents. That's why in the agenda I posted these two links to these two documents. And let me see if I can close all the stuff that I have open here. So we can take a look at those documents right now. All right. Let me share the screen. I think that Thomas couldn't make it today. Unfortunately, he had some issues with his work. So next time I'm pretty sure that he will join. All right. So before moving forward, I definitely asked everyone there in the group chat to see if they can take a look at the blog post that we are trying to create. This is for advertising the working group and for bringing more people into these meetings. What's missing here, I think, it's that we will actually add the calendar invites for the next two, maybe, so people can join. And the other thing that we need to validate is pretty much, who do we want to mention here? I mean, who feels comfortable by being mentioned here and who doesn't? Because I believe that by just showing a bunch of different companies working together on the developer side of things makes a lot of sense for this kind of announcements. Sonali, you mentioned this, I think that we need to aim for short, not for long and detailed, because there will be time for doing that later on when we produce something. Daniel, did you
I
have the
got
time
your
to
point.
check it?
Yeah.
Good. Daniel,
Yeah,
if you
sounds
have time
good.
at some point. Great,
Move
great,
that.
great. If you have some time to check this and suggest stuff, I think that I need to create a pull request somewhere with this content. So before
mean the
doing
blog
that,
post?
yeah,
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I will. No problem.
take a look. Feel free, like if you want to add more things, I asked the same to Thomas, and I will ping
Yeah.
Ryan and the other folks that have been joining the meetings
Yeah.
to see if they want to add more stuff or not.
Yeah,
I would love.
Yeah, I can take a look at that and then a little bit make some financial content. So you want me to create a pull request for that as well, or just to review documentation?
Up to you. Up to you. I guess that let's not create a pull request until we have some comments.
Okay.
So if you can give it a pass, I will ask Thomas to do that as well.
Okay,
And
let
then,
me try to add some content here first, and then everybody's okay, and then yeah, I'm happy to create a pull request as well.
that sounds awesome. My initial intention was to get something out this Friday, so we don't wait another week just to do this. But yeah, we will probably discuss this async in Slack, right? As soon as we have enough validation that the content is okay to publish, we will just go ahead and publish it.
Just to be clear, this is a part of the CNCF blog post?
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
I think that it should be, yeah.
Okay, I think it takes at least a couple of days to publish that once we submit it. Okay.
Yeah, but that's so before even submitting there, I think that Lian or someone from the tag should take a look into it and then just validate it. So before we go to them, I just want, us to review it and just get it done.
Yeah, just to be clear, should we create a pull request to publish this blog post? Because the last time when I published my blog post in CNCF as an ambassador, I didn't think I needed to create a pull request because I just share my blog post like some Google Docs, and then they actually review an editor, and then they just go out rather than ask me creating new pull request.
Let me ask Lian to see where this should go. That's the first thing. Okay, so let's but first, let's make sure that we have enough content for them to review, right? I don't want to send them stuff that we will be changing.
I'm gonna give it a try, updated the content later this day.
Great. And when you do so, please drop a message there in the chat.
Okay.
So other people know.
I will. Gotcha.
Great. Okay, so we have a question here from Justin. You feel free to interrupt, and unmute yourself.
Maybe easier to if I can speak. Yeah, just regarding the list of group members. Don't know if there is somewhere. I mean, a list of expectation on how to join and how to be maybe listed here, but how to become active as well.
Yeah, so I think that the members here are the ones that are joining kind of like almost every week, like every meeting, every 2 weeks. And the ones that are basically reviewing the documents and adding comments to the documents and suggestions, right? So if you want to be part of the group, the only thing that you need to do is show up, and then just, we will try to distribute the tasks that we need to do. And then if you can work with something like that, you will definitely be listed everywhere.
All right.
So far, there is no formal way of being a member. You're just a member because you are participating in the group, basically.
Already put a lot of comments in the previous documentation regarding the work group setup and so on. And happy to join and come and chat with you guys frequently, and also related to the tasks that we're going to need to work on.
Perfect. I mean, if you want to add your name in the document, just add it. That's perfectly fine. And add it as a suggestion, right?
Okay.
You are the member right now because you joined the call. So we don't have any some official some fancy name or a core member because the other working group doesn't have any kind of stuff right now. But anyone once they join the call, and then you are valuable core member in this group.
Yep. Perfect. Ryan, welcome. Ryan is also a member that is joining every call. So that's great. Ryan, please check this blog post. We will be trying to publish this at some point. But yeah, that's my only ask is just check the content. Tell us if you are okay to be mentioned there. And, if you want to change anything else about this, because you know what the group is doing. Talking about that, I think that the next thing that we should be doing is just talk about deliverables. I've been working kind of with the document and seeing that different people has been adding kind of comments here. and those all those comments are super valuable. So we just want to refine that. And I think that the document, in a way, at least in my head, is shaping up as to be kind of like one of these deliverables that I would love to have for KubeCon, in the sense that I do imagine ourselves printing, let's say, a 10 pages document that we can distribute, or we can share with the link or with the QR code or something like that, plus the thing that we mentioned before, that was like that short survey about, what tools are developers using that are attending KubeCon, right? So you can imagine, in app development con, like the collocated events, we can go there and say, like this is the list that this working group is the list of tools that this working group is looking at. Let's take a look at like what are the tools that you are using, and then we can just get that in survey, and then we can get like some real data that we can use to focus the next steps on the group, but also just to figure out which tools are we missing and how do they relate with the tools that we are describing here. I added a comment here at some point mentioning kind of like the projects that are like meeting the criteria. And basically what I did this week is that I tried to do like, for example, OpenTelemetry and gRPC. And then, I added the template for build packs. I added the template for Dapper and for Backstage. And I asked, Ryan, take a look into if like what I need right now is people going through the questions and see if they can answer that for a project that they know, right? If you can answer those questions for a project that you already know, that basically means that these questions are helping us to categorize this project in a certain way, but it also will trigger the discovery of new questions that we should be able to ask for all the projects. So, Daniel, I mentioned you in Backstage because I think that you kind of know Backstage already.
Sure.
And Thomas, I mentioned there in build packs because I know he's a big fan of build packs and he knows all the team and all that stuff. So if we can do that exercise of by the next meeting, we go through this, we just try to answer these questions and then see if new questions pop up. We just include those questions and then we try to answer the same questions for all the projects. But I'm quite happy, to be honest, with this progress. I do see us working in a design, I don't know how to put it, but like in a formal document that we can print, not much more like as a white paper, but more like as a report, like the Dora metrics report or the state of the cloud reports, where are like a little bit more graphic, where we can show these 10 tools here and what do they do for developers. Do you think that that's a good idea, folks?
Yep.
Taking into account that it's KubeCon North America, that it's coming really, really fast. I think that's for me, that's a realistic goal to achieve. And, it's at least what I have in my mind. If you think that we should be doing something else, I'm more than happy to hear that too.
Yep, sounds good. And then the Marshall and I, we keep advertising this working group as many as possible in the tech leaders meeting, but also like investor meeting as well. So every time we got this opportunity to showcase the application developer working group in terms of what we are doing and then what kind of benefit against the other working group, specifically for developer. And then a color event as well, like a QCon.
Yeah.
So any comment on that would be very appreciated and valuable to make it better content and advertise them eventually.
Yeah, this is something that we should mention here into the blog post, mostly because like that collocated event will be pretty much focused on the same technologies and same tools, right? Like mention I'll just add that there. And yeah, and just to remind you folks that this is still like open to submit proposals. I don't know, Ryan or Sonali or Jacina, are you planning to submit something there?
Yeah, for us, we are planning to, trying to see if we are on schedule.
Perfect. That makes a lot of sense. And I think that participating in this group will give you that kind of like angle, maybe like trying to, like when you look at this document, if you can answer these questions in the presentation, I think that developers will mostly understand where the tool that you're presenting fits, right? I think that we want to do this not only with these projects right now, like this is the list of projects that we want to start with, but like if we start adding more projects, we will probably want to try to answer the same questions just to understand where does the project fit in kind of like in the general ecosystem.
Makes sense.
Good. Ryan, are you planning to go to KubeCon NA?
Yeah, I'll definitely be there.
Perfect.
Sounds good.
Perfect.
I'm still figuring out if I have something to submit to App Developer Day. Because most of my work is more generally app delivery stuff. Or like platform day stuff. So I'm still figuring out, but I'll definitely be there.
Yeah. My feeling with platform day is that it will be more about like the cultural aspects of platform engineering. So yeah, I mean, please drop me a message if you want help or if you wanna brainstorm about the session.
Okay, very cool. Yeah, I like the idea.
Cool.
You know, also I'm
Cool.
still confusing between Platform Engineering Day and Backstage Con.
Yeah.
Because
Well,
the last time in Paris, I've been doing some some stuff in front of Platform Engineering Day, and a lot of folks actually ask me like the same question because they really just in Backstage, and then yeah, you can go up. There are Backstage Con, and then it literally a lot of platform engineer, more than 1,000 people actually join the Platform Engineering Day and looking forward to some Backstage or some of the fancy ITP stuff.
yeah, it's going to get super confusing. I think that's that's a problem that we have in these big events, right?
Yeah.
Ryan, maybe you could tell me.
I think the answer is that Backstage Day is, my understanding, supposed to be focused on Backstage. Platform Day was very technology neutral, and
but the thing
not
is
really
here
about a specific project.
Yeah, but the thing is, the most likely, I mean, audience perspective, most likely platform engineers and going to platform day as well as Backstage Con.
Right, but I'm sure that a lot of them were also at like ArgoCon as well. So I remember
that's true
choosing
too.
where to spend my time.
Yeah.
Choosing where to spend my time last time was difficult. I was going to sessions from a couple different tracks.
Yeah, I saw a lot of people actually jump around here and there, like one session in the ArgoCon, and then the other 1 hour to Backstage Con, and the later day go to like a platform engineering day.
Perfect. Yeah, I think that they like it was a nice idea to enable people to move around like to any collocated event, right? Like just one ticket, you go to all of them, but then you ended up like having tons of different agendas and then not knowing where to go, or from the organization point of view, we need to make sure that every collocated event had like sessions starting at the same time and that they were like separated by 10 minutes each so people can move around, and that also makes it super complicated. But it is what it is. Survey. Perfect. And that's the last one that I wanted to add here. So if we think about questions for a survey, maybe, I don't know, Sonali, if you want to think about that, we need someone to start thinking about, okay, what should we ask developers? If we find like a pool of developers, what should we ask them about the tools that we're listing here or the tools that they are using? How can we, get more like real life information about the things that we are like trying to classify here in this document from kind of like the audience that we will be meeting there at KubeCon? So maybe
and do some research on it.
And Yesenia as well.
Yeah. And I'll also have a couple of folks who I'm working with who are developers. I'll ask them also, and then see how much this fits, and then add it over here.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Sounds good. Folks, any other topics that we want to discuss? For me, super top priority is the blog post and the document. Just try to make sure that we make slow progress there. So
Dapper, I can pick if Ryan is not taking it.
Which one?
Dapper. For adding things about Dapper. How much answer the question. Yeah, I mean,
you can start, and then you can start, or you can pick any other project from the list, or you can start and then we can just review.
I thought I was taking it. Can I take something else then?
You can take something else.
If you want to. Yeah. Yeah. Totally.
By Dan and Thomas before meeting for review in the tag. Members can add comments, suggestions. Perfect. And then on the document, what we did is we just basically split activities to try to answer the classification questions for projects and see if there are new questions that can be added. Great. I think
Hey,
that's
Marshall, one
yeah.
question. Would you mind asking for Rian the publishing process? Maybe we don't
Yes.
need to go through tech leaders to review the blog post and then just like ambassador stuff. We just create the documentation and then review by ourselves and then just sending out rather than reviewing by TOC, which it takes a little bit more time. And
Yeah,
or we don't
that's
even need to create a pull request at all.
perfect. Yeah, because that might be the case. Maybe Liang can just publish stuff, or we can just go and publish.
Yeah.
So yeah, let me ask.
In case this is like a fast track, wants to review by TOC, and then we go out really fast, and then that'd be nice. But if we go with the like a general publishing process, just like an ambassador stuff, maybe we don't need to going through TOC or a pull request.
Perfect. One more thing, another thing that I wanted to mention to the group that I didn't mention before, like we did like a working group leadership meeting the other day, and we suggested the tag leadership to suggest the TOC to see if they can include like working group announcements or working group updates when they do project updates in the KubeCon keynotes. So maybe at some point we will ask some of the members to maybe kind of like try to do that. Maybe we need to record some kind of video about the work that we have been doing until KubeCon. So yeah, just keep an eye on that, because at some point maybe in Slack channel we will start asking for people to say, let's try
like
to
YouTube
give an update. Something like that, I guess, because that's kind of like what projects updates are, right? Like 1 minute, or I think it's like 60 seconds updates of each project.
Yeah, 30 seconds.
So, yeah, let's fast. I think that's pretty much it from my side. We have a lot of work to do regarding the format of the document, right? Like again, what we have here. So we have the document formatted here, like 1 page per project. I think that's a good goal, right? Like just not to go over complicated with the amount of details, just keep it as simple as possible. And I started to think about that, like maybe we need to ask some kind of help from a designer or someone who has like, the ability to format this document in a way that it's more printable and presentable. So I will start asking for that kind of resource first in the CNCF, and if I cannot find it there, I will try to find it like outside, so we can just get kind of like a nice document that we can review and then that we can print and present to people. Yeah, okay. I will just write that down. I don't know, Daniel, if we can have someone at Red Hat. I have no idea how that works. Fine. To format. Yeah. Yeah.
You were also talking about some images, adding images to the doc, right?
Yeah, it's images, but also like formatting the text so it's printable and it's presentable, right? So yeah, if you see this one, for example, I think that I have it somewhere. I don't know where. Okay, so I will find it. Let me see. Yeah, so like there, like whenever you kind of get a report, or for example, this one.
Yeah, we can refer to the other groups like a white paper, what they already done before. We're gonna maybe steal some of the format from the other working group as well.
Exactly.
Similarly, I saw for the blog post which was there for invitation to participate in the platform as a group, and the tag app delivery for the working group for the platform. They also have the announcement blog post, but that so later when I checked, it's also very short.
Yeah, because it shouldn't be long, right? Like it should be just, you know, just short, like some sort of announcement saying, okay, this is actually started. Now we can, for example, share it with the ambassadors, and the ambassadors will amplify and all that stuff. And that will cause that for the next meeting, you know, we will have some other people joining maybe, or like some people more curious about the work that we are doing.
Yeah, and their process of working was little different. They used to have interviews and all, a sort of a discussion before onboarding people to the group.
Yep, makes
Yeah.
sense. I think that we should do something like that. I've already reached to the platform group, so we can maybe have an introduction about how they are doing things, because they are also they also ran some meetings at KubeCon last time, and the previous version in the US. So we just need to do the same thing, right? Like we need to go to the tag like booth at KubeCon, and we just need to make sure that we just know where, when, and what kind of things do we need to prepare for that.
Correct. Yeah, I'll ping you the link. I mean, I saw the blog.
Yeah.
I was like, maybe we need to do something like not exactly this, but something of this sort, so that we can filter out the audience also.
Exactly. Yeah. And I think that creating some kind of like report like this, that it's a little bit more graphical and it has just kind of like the key things that we want to demonstrate, that will help us a lot. Like maybe we will not have the data right now, but we will have kind of at least the brief description of each project. So presenting that in a nice way, I think that it's key for this to become a little bit more accessible for people to consume. If we just present like, you know, a Word document, nobody will actually read it.
Correct.
So,
Makes sense. Yeah, we need to convert it some sort of PDF or something.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just put on the chat the
Yep.
white paper which he created by Platform Working Group a while ago. So there are a few figures in the table of content and layout for creating documentation. Yeah, we definitely needed to refer to this documentation based on CNCF format and layout. So there's
100%.
there's not much some illustration here, but yeah, definitely worthy to watching and looking at this one too.
Yeah, so for me, it's like because we are not creating a white paper, we need to be a little bit more graphical, right? Like it needs to be a little bit more, you know, attractive in a sense that it's not just 10 pages of text. But we will see how we can get that done.
Yeah, we probably need to ask for like the VN and the tag readership as well.
Yep.
Maybe they already have some resources or reference or some tool like open source to generate some kind of thing.
Let's do it. I will take the lead on that. Great, folks.
And then you want to
yeah.
create some cadence call after today, like a bi-weekly meeting?
Yep. So basically, we will create the next one. Let me check the calendar. The next one will be in the first week of July, right?
Yeah.
Which is next week. So the 3rd. I think that the 3rd will be our first meeting of July, and then the next one will be the 17th.
Sound good?
Yeah, so we will create that after this meeting. We will just go on the platform that it's a little bit more, like it's a little bit complicated, and we will just create those two. We will share it in the chat.
Okay.
Cool.
And the rest of the work is async, folks. So if you have any questions or if you want to do something else, please drop us a message there in the Slack channel. Cool?
Yep.
Sounds good. Yeah.
Thank you, folks. Let's keep it short today.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Thanks all.
Bye.
Talk to you later. Bye-bye.